The others is about a woman who lives in 1945 in an old house with her 2 children, and her husband was killed in the war. And the story starts with when these 3 servants arrive to the house and they're introduced to the children, and Grace explains this disease the children have, which is they can't be exposed to sunlight because they would die. I like to play with metaphors in my films, and in this case this disease, photophobia, helped me to tell the story about darkness, about light, and about how these children who live in this dark place discover something which comes from light. Since the children have this strange disease, I thought it was very interesting play with the light as it was a living aspect in the house. So you have to stop the light in order to have your children safe. And that's why this character is always opening and closing doors and playing with light as it was water. And one of the things that I told to the cinematographer was light kills. And that's why you always can tell that light is trying to get into the house. When you are playing with horror, you are playing with the unknown. That's what really, really scares us. The things that we don't know, that we can't really see. So I think that sometimes there is a contradiction when you talked about the monster and you show suddenly the monster. And it just doesn't scare me. I prefer the audience to find out what's going on, to make out what it's behind the characters. The first thing that impressed me was her eyes. I thought that in the past, in many films, I had seen her, but I couldn't see her incredible eyes, which I think it's very, very important for characters in general, and especially for this character who's trying to make out things. When you have this character, which is a woman who lives in an isolated house, we've seen that in some horror films before, and sometimes it tends to be a cliche, and Nicole tried to play it in a very realistic way. So she does need all this background for the character to be inspired by it, and you can really feel that this woman was real. You can feel her and feel for her. And the only thing was that she tried to play the fragility of the character through all these tasks she has in the house, opening and closing doors, taking care of the children. You can really understand that this woman is living in a very, very troubling situation. It was my first time with children, and especially in English, so I was very, very scared at the beginning. Gina J, the casting director, was working for, I think, almost half a year to find the girl, which was a very, very important character in the film. And we found the kid very, very easily, very soon. And what we thought we would need for the girl was something which was who would be able to face someone like Nicole Kidman and wouldn't be scared of her and really would take the risk. And I think Alekhina was perfect because she's very honest and she's very strong and she's very subtle, which is good. It's not this kind of girl who is talking all the time, you know. She knows what she wants. I wrote it in Spanish. I know originally it should take place in Spain, in South America. Then when we decided to shoot it in English, we had to find the right place considering that the religion, which is a very important subject in this film, religion is Catholicism, and so we found these islands in which there is a mixture between Catholicism and Protestantism, or Anglicanism. So it was for us the best place. And apart from that, these islands were the only place invaded by the Germans during the war. So there is I think there is a sense of guilt in the island somehow, which I thought very interesting. These two sides, part of the music is just there to scare the audience, and some other part to move their feelings. And I'm really especially happy with all the adagios, which I use for Grace and the children. And I think that brings up another kind of emotion for the audience.